Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 6 of our training in the Foundation in Online Art Therapy. I'm really excited today because I'm going to share with you how to create a virtual open studio. And so there are multiple ways to do this. A lot of people are doing Facebook Lives or on Instagram, but one of the ways I've done it is through Zoom because I really like to interact with people. So I'm going to share the way I've done it, and there may be other people in the group who want to share different ways that they've been creating these experiences for people. So here we are. So today we are going to be looking at methodology, theory, and issues. So we're going to look at why people join open studios, the basics, theory, structure, creating group norms, precautions, and resources. And so this workshop can be used as a template for creating closed groups too, but it's primarily focused on virtual open studios. And we are going to be looking at how to create closed groups next week. So we'll be using some of the theory that we've learned, but also, all the different factors of what happens in the closed group environment. So why do people attend Open Studio? So common needs that can inform your goals. You want to be thinking about what is the goal of your studio? What are the needs of the clients? Who are they who are going to join? Who do you want to attract into your group? And so you're going to be really focusing on that. So needs that can inform your studio goals are connection to others, creative expression, self-development, community, building on resiliency, and the need for support. And so the reason I know this is because I actually took research on the groups that I did. And these were the top reasons that people were joining my open studio. And so I did this studio over 6 months, and I had anywhere from 3 to 10 people join, which felt like it was a really good number. So you want to be thinking about what the needs are of the groups that you're working with. And you're also going to be coming back to what the needs of the participants that you might have that help you shape the studio. So some of the benefits that we see from Open Studio online is engaged in the creative process, expressed or released feelings, felt more connected, felt more empowered, felt seen and witnessed, experimented with materials, relaxation and enjoyment, reduced symptoms of stress, increased self-confidence, and increased self-awareness. And so those were more insights that I got from doing feedback forms, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So here are some of some direct quotes that I thought would be useful for you to hear. So I'm taking away the experience of art making in a community, hearing, seeing others share. The art therapist provided interesting check-ins, a positive, peaceful environment, and thoughtful responses to participants' comments and artwork. I appreciated that, and as an alternative to a given theme or directive, participants were reminded that they could they could do what came up for them. Here's some more. I realized that other people are feeling the same way as me. Art therapy is incredibly powerful and enriching. The group has brought me the power of community, a safe space, a sharing circle through art and self-expression is immense. It has brought me a sense of belonging. So, what are some of the basics? You want to be thinking about practical setup, tracking participants' privacy, and expectations. So, practical setup. So I like to advocate, as many of you know, for a white or neutral background. I advocate for this because it allows the participants to focus on themselves rather than be distracted. And so I actually changed my background based on who I'm seeing. I generally feel for like open studios, I prefer to have a more white background because it becomes more of a neutral container for them. It's also okay to have an art studio background as long as it's not imposing. So think very carefully about what the client can see. And as some of you know or have seen, I sometimes have a big painting in the background too. And so it really depends on like the energy that I'm trying to cultivate. And so today I went with this very clear, clean look to do this presentation. So you're really thinking about what your client might need. You want to wear professional attire. It's really easy when we're working from home to let ourselves slip, but we want to maintain a professional appearance and attitude. We're constantly modeling for our clients. Multiple screens if you're holding the studio alone, so that you're able to keep track of emails. If someone is having trouble getting in, while staying present to the group, you can name what's happening. And if possible, I really like to advocate for people to actually co-create a studio together, because then one person can be doing the technical piece, one person can be doing the interaction with the clients, and then you can swap every week. And it really gives like a good feeling. Or if somebody's unwell, then one person can take over. So there's lots of reasons for having a co-facilitator when doing this. So you want to wear headphones with a mic so that the sound is clear. You also want to create a tracking sheet, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So privacy concerns. So think about how this applies to both the therapist and client. And we've gone over this before, but I really like us to keep coming back to this every single time we think about a new group or individual, because we really want to keep cultivating this within ourselves. So who's in the room? What can the client see? What can you see? Is the platform secure? Is the session being recorded? Positioning of the camera, and is it panning in or out? So just as in face-to-face therapy, the privacy rule can be broken if there is risk of harm to self or others, and this must be made clear to all clients, as well as confidentiality. And I'm going to go over where I name this in my structure a little bit later. So the next thing that is my kind of secret behind the scenes treasure that I'm letting you in on is tracking participants. So for each session, I create a table to track participation. So I put people's names, so I put them down there, whether they're there. So when I have people do an open studio, I collect it at the beginning. So I know who is going to be coming. And so then I click if they've turned up, I put a check. If they've set a check-in, I put another check. So then I know who's left. So then I can be like, oh, George hasn't spoken yet, and be able to facilitate that. And it really helps people feel seen and witnessed and known that they haven't been called upon yet. So another way that I do it, which you all know, is that I ask the people who are left to wave, and that makes it easier as well for people. I also have a column for if they share their art, and then also if they want to give a closing word, which I'm going to talk more about in a minute. So expectations. You want to set the expectation before your session. So you're going to create guidelines on your website that people agree to do before they sign up. And so a really good example can be viewed on the Kundalini Art Therapy website. And I'm also going to put this as a link on my website. You want to also include digital safety and what to expect. So set the expectation before your session could be in emails or posts reminding people about your online session, encouraging people to take steps that will help them have as few distractions as possible. For example, say, when connecting, please join from the quietest place with the strongest internet connection possible. If possible, wear headphones or a headset during the session. So with digital safety and what to expect, you might want to include something about removing distractions from the start of sessions, such as turning off email alerts, removing pets, or hiding your phone. So this is all part of building the group norms, which we're going to talk about as well.